if anyone is trying to releasing some sidecars, could you give update? Chris, do you want to go first?
Sure, yeah, so last week the external provisioner, I think it's V3 was released. And outside of that, I'm still currently working on CSI sanity tests to assert the node publish volume behavior. And also maybe tangentially related to this, but I know there was some discussion back and forth about like how I labeled some of the pull requests for updating dependencies. And just apologies for any confusion that caused, and going forward, I'll be sure to label those things as cleanup. Yeah, that's it for release status.
Oh, so for the last part, like label things, I didn't follow that. So if you have some, like something you can put on the notes, could you?
I don't think it requires anything noteworthy like to put on the project. Oh. It was just I had labeled some of the pull requests for bumping dependencies as kind feature and not kind cleanup, and so it caused some confusion when it came time to generate the release notes for some of these sidecars.
Oh, okay. So right now, right, your tasks for releasing sidecar already finished. You also have a node Java registrar?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you. And so Xing, you also will release some sidecars?
Yeah, I'm working on changelog right now. So yeah, once that is merged, I can cut that. For the snapshotter. Yeah, for health monitor, I'm still checking with I think there are still some things that we may want to wait a little bit. So that one is not in a hurry. But snapshotter, once the doc change is in, I can cut the sidecar.
Okay, great. So who else? Young, you finished.
I haven't got the resizer release. I'll be making a release in a couple of days, today or tomorrow.
Okay.
I have to make the change log and then just tag it.
Okay. And it looks like Yang already finished the attacher one.
Yes, that one is released.
Thank you. And Ben has a couple, and Cheng has Leibniz Pro.
Yeah, for that one, sorry, I just came back from vacation. I can look into that into it this week.
Okay, thank you. So Xing, like I remember you will help Ben to go through the process.
Yeah, I think he is updating the his branch now. I have been reviewing it. I think I'm waiting for him to address my comments.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, I think that's about the releasing sidecars. Any questions or comments about releasing the sidecars? Okay. One quick question I had is, anyone know about like memory leak issue? It was fixed in Leibniz Pro before, but I heard from someone they're saying they still seem to see memory increasing. I just want to kind of see if anyone have seen such behavior.
Was there like an issue, a GitHub issue for this, or?
I don't think so. So before there was a PR that already emerged to fix the Leibniz Pro memory leak by Jiawei, I think. And after that, some people just mentioned they probably didn't file a issue yet. So I just want to have a check if anyone also noticed similar behavior. If no, then yeah, that's fine. I will ask the person to file issue if they continue to see the memory leak.
Yeah, that would be good. I haven't seen it, but it would be good to follow up there.
Okay. So I think there's nothing in the agenda. Anyone want to talk anything about CSI? So we also have CSI migration meeting, more specific for migration, I think last Friday. Not sure anyone here also joined that meeting. So
yeah,
mean,
I could not join it because yeah, Friday was a recharge day in my company. So
okay.
one thing that is worth noting is I think going forward we have to kind of figure out how the driver releases and Kubernetes releases could be synced for drivers that support migration. Like, can a Kubernetes major release like 122, 123 break, like come out of the release and it has no supported driver? Like there are no CSI driver that could install and work. In that case, migration will be broken, and in that case, a code feature like. So we might have to figure something out, like how this will affect the migration.
Yeah, I see. Go ahead.
I was saying if you wanted to introduce some CI, ongoing CI from Kubernetes master into these driver repositories, at least like AWS, GCP, vSphere, Cinder, so that we don't have last minute breakage.
Right. So for GCPD, we do have a CI test against master Kubernetes. And so for all the other drivers, I believe, yeah, like you said, it would be good to have such CI tests to be able to track, right, if anything break on the master branch.
Yeah, I don't think AWS has one. And yeah, we had to.
Right. So if we think this is something important, we can like discuss, right, a little bit. For GCPD, we also trying to, I think, better like have different, because right now we have many different versions of Kubernetes version and the driver versions, and it will the metrics, the testing metrics will kind of become big. We also want to have a way to better like to test, right? So it won't increase too much. Yeah, I see on Slack there was discussion related to kind of relevant to this. Is the vSphere CSI driver?
Yeah, I think the vSphere, I don't think vSphere E2E tests are like anywhere public. So that's the part of the problem. I don't know if, is there any way we could fix that? Zing, what do you think?
I think I gave an update. Did you read my update on that Slack?
Yeah, like, but this could happen. I saw that, but this could happen again.
So
right?
I'm trying to get them to test this more often. I mean, right now the problem is, it's since this has always been a auto tracing, right? So I think the QE testing right now is always wait until Kubernetes released and then test it. So, so I'm trying to change that, trying to get them to test this early. I think we're actually still trying to talk about this one actually. So
yeah, I think the upstream release of vSphere CSI driver, or any driver as a matter of fact, that supports migration,
right,
ideally should not depend on QE. It should depend on CI. At least the way I understand.
Yeah, so the problem with our CI is so I think we talked about this one maybe even before, when they are saying, you're required to have a CI for this, right? So the problem is we really don't have this one like external. I mean, it's so because we rely on some vSphere release that is not released yet. So we can't really do this on a public cloud or something. But initially we actually thought about that, but the problem is for the driver that is not out yet, we also have some dependency on unreleased vSphere feature, and those we can't really deploy those on those public clouds. So I think,
can we have a separate test suite? Like for example, we use a VMware VMC environment to E2E test the CSI.
But yeah, but you are not testing something that is already that is not released. So when we are working on, that's the thing, right?
We can control those things via FeatureGate. So we have to we should validate the migration features that the entry support is supported by vSphere driver over every major Kubernetes major.
So what is you're saying you're using VMC?
Yeah, and it's you can we use it public. You can see our results.
Yeah, I know that, but I think the reason that we didn't go with that was, I think we talked about this one a while ago when we were working on the CSI migration, was because we always depend on some unreleased features which is not on VMC.
The thing
so
is,
you guys are testing. Okay, so you are basically testing a older. Okay, so that means we just have something like two separate CI. Maybe we have an internal CI that we have to use sandbox build. That's not really
sure. I mean, I think as long as new features can be tested different CI QE, we don't mind. We do not are not worried about that. But the minimum version that is guaranteed to be supported by migration, which is detach, mount, unmount. That's basically all the vSphere entry driver supports. Those we should test via CSI test suite, and that I think we can very easily test it. I mean, actually, me and Jan were talking about the other day, and we thought we could do it in OpenShift CI, but we don't know if vSphere CSI driver is publishing images that we could use and publish it.
Oh, the images should be.
Well,
those are upstream images, right? Those are like the GCR, that public location.
But this
go ahead. We need some canary images from master.
Not canary. Okay, so that's a problem because we can no longer publish those images. Guess that's also one problem. Right.
Anyway, the CSI driver supports vSphere 6.7 U3, I believe, and it shouldn't be that difficult to get that. You don't need any new features to test that.
No, I'm talking about also the driver image right now. So then we need to find a different image repo. So right now, all the published images on Kubernetes.
No. I'm referring to the fact that you want to test new features that are not available in released vSphere, but if the CSI driver supports vSphere 6.7 U3, it has been released a long time ago, and it can
you are talking about talking about existing release.
Yeah.
And making sure something's not okay. Yeah, I can talk to them about this.
We just have to test the common minimum.
Another problem, of course, is I think the release right now go with the vSphere release rather than Kubernetes release. So I think that's another thing. And then the release testing is very, very lengthy. So it's it's I have to change the whole release process. That's why it's I'm still trying to talk to them and see how to address this. Definitely, this is a pretty bad issue here. So so you're saying maybe have some setup on the VMC by testing existing features, just trying to make sure that it's not broken if Kubernetes releases out. Nothing is broken. So it's
like the external tests we have in Kubernetes, like they take, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's not like long run. And it would have found the issue that we
I know what you're saying. I'm just talking about like our existing, this QE process is like really lengthy. It's just like impossible to change anything. I say, oh, find this one, we need to, especially when they test Kubernetes, it's like always has to be always have delayed. It's like a released version. So I'm talking to them about this. I think they should be testing something that is not released yet.
For GCPD, maybe it's like a much simpler case, but we have, let's say, we build the latest driver and then test against on the Kubernetes master.
Right. You're part of the CI. It's different, right? So basically, just you don't have to have even human involved, of course, unless if there are problems. Yeah, that's actually what we should do.
I mean, my suggestion would be that if have different like GCR images, upstream images versus the downstream images. So you still
the image, the problem is that right. So image is one problem, I guess. So we can't. So basically, this means just every time somebody submit a PR, we test that.
Yeah. You should build a new image of the driver.
Because yes, right now our CI, it's kind of not really tied to the PR. You have to go trigger it. It's kind of it's awkward actually.
That's what we were thinking. If we had images built each time, a canary image built each time, and you like this thing is submitted, then even like any hardware can test those run the CI driver. Like we can test an OpenShift infrastructure and just submit the result and things like that. But we need the images.
I think it's a separate issue because like if we test already published images, then we find bugs and we should find them before we merge them.
Yeah. So we had to build the images in the PR itself, right?
Yeah, like Kubernetes has a huge infrastructure for building and testing this kind of stuff, and maybe we just miss some accounts or some sponsored infrastructure that could run it. It shouldn't be that hard
we
to
actually
build it.
initially we actually thought about using this VMC. I think the like the vSphere cloud provider, they actually use that. But I think our side is a little different just because we're dependent on something that is not released. That's why at that time I think we decided not to use that. So maybe we can talk about
the driver should work with all the vSphere versions.
No, they are different. So anyway, we need features that are not released actually.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do from their side, but I know that we actually look at what they are doing initially and decided we can't just because we have a lot of dependency on the unreleased features.
So the CSI driver already has a test suite that is different from the upstream, like the Kubernetes CSI test suite.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So we could just run the Kubernetes CSI test suite, and that does not depend on new features of vSphere. So, like we'll be fine with that. And any other new features that depend on it can be run on internal.
Well,
CI
that one doesn't really test migration, do they? Do they test migration? The upstream E2E test? Probably not.
It does.
Oh, it can.
It can, yeah.
But no, are there existing tests to test that?
Yes.
Okay.
There are tests for entry.
I definitely I'll talk to them. But I think setting this up will still take some time. It's just that that's not what we have currently.
Definitely. Like this is headache.
That's the problem. I think we are also kind of short on key resources. That's another thing, something new. But definitely, I think this is broken. Definitely need to get fixed. So
it might become a prerequisite for if you want to turn all the migration by default in 123, because we don't want accidentally things being broken.
Yeah, but I think this time it's probably, so this one is also kind of a little bit caught us off guard, because I actually heard about this one. I mean, the API, the CRE deprecation thing. Somehow I didn't think that I was only thinking about external snapshot. Didn't even think about it. It's going to affect driver as well until kind of a little bit late. So yeah, and also in the past, when we were trying to, I remember even in external snapshot, when I was trying to update to V1 at one point, I was told it's deprecated, but still supported. You don't have to change it. And in another project, I changed it to V1, and I was asked to change it back to V1 beta 1 because they want to support older customers are on very, very old Kubernetes versions. And then so suddenly this one changed, they just dropped it. So, supposedly you're expecting, but I don't think many people are expecting this one actually. So but anyways.
Right now, I just want to confirm, right now the situation is the vSphere CSI driver will not work with 122?
Yeah, the current version, we will be working on a version that supports it, of course. We are actually already looking at this, but the 2.3 that likely won't be, because that one was scheduled to be released a long time ago. I mean, back in July, so that and it was delayed for some other things. So I think that one probably is unlikely to be delayed to take this, but it's the release after that we will be addressing this. So yeah.
Okay. So I think we want to have this CI test discussion, continue to have this, so that to have better testing, and the vSphere issue, I think it's we already understand, and so we just have to work around this this time.
Yeah, I think my main thing is I think the CI is a migration is a requirement for the migration, so we have to kind of keep probably sort this in 123 timeline.
Okay. So yeah. So I think it's good to bring it up, and so we continue to work on this. Any other topics? If no, then yeah, I think we can end this meeting, and hopefully to see you on Wednesday again. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.